And so he asks this question again for us for our benefit. Hey, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? And what Jesus is doing in this question is he's starting to expose something that this crowd is experiencing, what many of us experience today, what our culture experiences today. And that is our tendency when it comes to hear from God, we engage in what we're going to call selective obedience. And I'm going to say we and our very intentionally, because this is a we thing, including this is very much a me thing. I need this message just as much as any of us, because there's times where I just pick and choose what God says and don't do everything that he calls me to do. And so we're going to look at selective obedience. And I really appreciate what Craig Rochelle, who's a pastor out in Oklahoma, what he says about selective obedience. He says this, he says, selective obedience is the decision to do what God tells us to do as long as it's not too difficult, unless if God's asking too much or if we think we have a better plan. And that sounds like me a lot of times. And he goes on to continue to say, he says, you know what? Selective obedience is the dangerous illusion that doing some of what God commands is enough, when really it's just disobedience in disguise. And that word obedience can be a very tough and challenging word for a lot of us. And the reason why it's tough and challenging is because it begins to expose some things that it's inside of us. It begins to expose our need for control, our pride, our fear, which is just another way of trying to deal with control because we want to do things our way. And ultimately, when it comes to obedience, it means we're no longer going to be the master for our own lives. We're going to let the Lord, we're going to let Jesus be the master of our lives.